For those of us who are connected to Father Heart Ministries, we feel that we owe a great debt to a man called Jack Winter, who brought this revelation of Father loving us as his children and us entering into an inner relationship with him as child to Father. Jack travelled the world. His passion was to see people made whole, and he discovered in this revelation of the Father that it was the love of God the Father that actually created wholeness within a person's heart. And so we trace our legacy back to Jack, and we are so grateful to all that he brought us. And it's my privilege to have Jack's wife Dorothy with me. She will be talking about the legacy that they've left. She will be talking about her memories of ministering together and the faithfulness of the Lord right up to this day. The chat we had was conducted over the telephone, so I do apologise right now for sometimes the poor quality of the recording, but I think what Dorothy has to say is worth hanging in there and listening to. She'll be coming up in just a moment. Don't go away. Well, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. I've been looking forward to this chat with you.
That's nice.
We've been friends on Facebook for a while, but it's just lovely to be able to speak to you.
Yeah. Are you in New Zealand? Do you live in New Zealand? Or,
no, I live in Scotland, Dorothy.
Oh, you live in Scotland. Okay.
Yeah, I'm one of those who are spread out across the world. Is the connection all right?
The connection is fine. I can hear you.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I just wanted to chat because, we've heard so much about Jack from James and Denise, but I wanted to actually, I wanted to hear more about you rather than just stories about Jack.
It's hard for me to know what to say.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, we've heard all these things about what Jack was like, but, and it was a bit extraordinary, but you must be a bit of an extraordinary woman to have walked that path with him.
Well, we were married in 1955, so that's 65 years ago.
Wow.
When we were married, we were at Bethany Fellowship,
Yeah.
the Bible training school in Minneapolis.
Sure. Wow.
And we went. It's a 3-year training program. We graduated from that, and then we were put on the staff of the school.
Right.
And we worked on staff there for until 1964.
Okay. So
when we launched our own ministry called Daystar Ministries.
Uh-huh.
And that's the ministry that James and Denise were part of for a while in the States.
Yeah, they traveled over to the States at the end of the 70s, didn't they?
Yes, they did. It was in probably about 1977 or 78.
Okay. Wow.
And we had met them at Orama in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Were you guys
happened. Ministering there, or?
I'm sorry?
Were you and Jack ministering there?
Yes, Jack was there. They had some kind of a conference or meetings, and they had asked Jack to come to be a speaker there.
Wow.
That's where we met James and Denise. They were, I can't remember, I think they were either part of the staff there or just part of the meeting. I can't remember now.
Yeah.
And I think because of that connection, they felt a real connection to us at that point.
Yeah.
I think it was 1977. And so later they decided to move. We had a ministry center in Indiana, near Indianapolis, Indiana. And that's where they first came, you know. By that time, we had been from 1964 to 1977. We'd been ministering mostly in the United States, but also Jack had gone to several other countries. He had been part of. He wasn't a part of it, but he had been asked by YWAM to go to some of their schools and minister to the students.
Wow! Did you travel with them, Dorothy?
I did, not all the time, but I did quite a bit of the time.
Yeah.
At first, I didn't want to go because we had 3 small children.
Right.
But when they got older, you know, when they were in high school and college, then I felt more free to travel with him. And so I went to, you know, to Europe and New Zealand, Australia, and other places in the world, and also in the U.S. and Canada.
Yeah. So you were saying that you married in 55. Is that when you met? Did you meet at the Bible school or somewhere else?
Well, we met in college, St. Olaf College in Northfield, Minnesota. It's a Lutheran liberal arts college. And Jack was in they had a pre-seminary major kind of thing. And so he was a pre-sem student planning to go on to seminary and become a minister.
Yeah.
So then we then we went to Bethany, also a Lutheran school that it's a missionary training school, thinking we would become missionaries. And but we ended up on staff there.
Yeah, I mean, I guess when you think about all of the countries you visited, I guess you did become missionaries after all.
Yeah, we did. Actually, I mean,
wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, but we started out. We were part of the charismatic movement. Do you know? Are you familiar with that?
Yeah.
And that's how we really got started in the ministry of the Daystar Ministries.
Okay.
And the ministry of the Holy Spirit, especially. And then in 1977, Jack ministered to lots of people. I mean, he was praying for people constantly. He was always in demand to come and speak at places.
Wow.
And there were some people that he felt he just wasn't getting through to.
Yeah.
They needed something more. And that's when he began to speak about people did not have a real connection to God as God is a father.
Right. Oh.
They didn't have that relationship. And that's when he began to minister Father's love.
Yeah. It's interesting. I was speaking with a friend recently who actually went to Zion Harbour in 1977.
Oh, yeah? That was very early on in area. Who is that? Remember the name?
Carl Eldon. Carol and Kathy. He had split up from Kathy, and he'd actually gone to Zion Harbour because Kathy had taken the kids there to a weekend camp or something, and he was intending to break the family up, but he went into one of the meetings and somehow Jack got to speaking to him and asked him to tell him about his dad, and Carl says he just broke down crying, and he didn't break up the family.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that happened, so many times.
Yeah, that's amazing. So what was Zion Harbour, Dorothy?
Zion Harbour was it was like a Bible camp. It was on a lake in northern Minnesota called Leech Lake, and I had facilities for. It had a main building with 22 bedrooms and kitchen, and dining room and facilities like that. And then it had a number of cabins, small little cabins that were like 2-bedroom cabins. And then it also had a dormitory and a couple of other houses. And it had space for people to come with their campers, that they could set up.
Yeah.
And so we often had 400 or 500 people, even up to 600-700 people sometimes in the summer. It was because it was in northern Minnesota. We were only open, during the summer, like 10 or 12 weeks usually. Although we did have a staff that stayed there year round, and we had occasional weekend conferences or couples meetings or things like that.
So was that a base for Daystar?
It was, yeah. And then we also had a place in Minneapolis. We had a place in Chicago and in Fargo, North Dakota. Wow.
So what happened that you guys decided to set up Daystar?
We were looking. Jack and I were looking for a place in Minneapolis because Jack had become, in the charismatic movement, there were churches that were having meetings all the time, and they were looking for someone, and Jack was, always in demand. And we were also at Bethany, on the staff at Bethany. Sure. And it was like we couldn't do both. We had to make a choice which way we were going to go. So we felt we should open our own ministry. So that's where we decided to look for a place in Minneapolis. And we found this building that had been like a nursing home. Yeah. A building that had like 23 bedrooms and in all the facilities of a nursing home. But it was for sale. And so even without any money or anything, we decided to put a bid in to buy it.
Wow.
It was like $140,000.
So that's quite a lot of money in the 60s.
Right. It was a lot of money.
Yeah.
It was if back in the 60s, if you were making $10,000 a year, that was a really good salary,
Yeah. Wow.
We felt that God was leading us and that God would supply, and he did. And from that, then we would have meetings and we'd invite people coming. They would come. We didn't want to interfere with people going to church.
Sure.
We didn't want to take them away from their churches. So we'd have a meeting like on Tuesday night or something like that, regularly. And of course, it can only accommodate like maybe the top, like 125 people.
Yeah.
For a meeting. And so then we decided that we should expand and get something else, especially in the summer. So that's when we looked around and we found this place in northern Minnesota. And it was for sale. It was a resort.
Okay.
And
wow.
So we launched out again without money and put an offer in. And we managed to, do that as well. The money came in, and people came from all over, to that camp in the summer. We didn't charge anything. I mean, we opened it up on a free will offering basis because we felt there were so many people that needed ministry that just couldn't afford it, So we had to. But we asked them to pay what they could.
Sure.
And we managed to keep it going.
That's amazing.
Right. We had a wonderful staff there. The people were, we couldn't ask for better people,
But I love that as well of just saying what you can afford. It's so different from a lot of things that you see in the Christian world around finance.
Right, exactly. But Jack, he had read about, I can't remember the name now, but somebody from England whose ministry he also had used that model, where he felt that if God was leading him, God would supply. And so that's where we got the idea that if God is really leading us, then God will take care of us, know.
There must have been a few tense moments, though.
Oh, yeah, there always were.
Wow.
That's for sure. But, you just don't quit because there are hard times,
Yeah.
So that's, and I have to say, God was faithful. We never got to the place where we didn't have food or shelter or something to share,
Yeah, that's amazing. That's wonderful. So when Jack came home and said to you that, he felt that people needed to know the Father more and he would start praying for them by embracing them, and how did that sound to you when he came in, when he was saying all of that? Sorry, when Jack, came home and said people need to have a more of a relationship with the Father, and he was speaking about praying for them by putting his arms around them. How did you see that happening?
Well, I agree with him. This is a need that people had. They had to feel something, and I think he felt like he was imparting the Father's love to them, and the response we had from people was like the one you said about Carl, who just broke down and cried, and that happened again and again.
Wow. And I think the incredible thing is that's still the model we use in Father Heart Ministries. We still use that model of embracing people and praying that our arms would become the Father's arms, We still do that. Wow.
And people really felt it. And we had people, some of them were ready to commit suicide. There are others who were, addicted to drugs or alcohol or sex or whatever.
Yeah.
That a lot of people had just crossed off as far as trying to minister to them. That responded.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Wow.
I think that, in the Christian church, that one thing that's emphasized so much is obedience.
Sure.
But I think that it's more, people need to know a relationship. If they don't have a relationship with God, an internal relationship.
Yeah.
Obedience is just really hard.
Yeah.
And people get so messed up with it because they think they have to do something spectacular or something very special or, or something crazy, to show that they are obedient.
Yeah.
Without the understanding that, it isn't that. When you're in a relationship with somebody, you don't think, I've got to obey this person. You know what I mean?
Yes, that's true.
Even though
something that flows from your heart, isn't it?
Yeah, you read the scriptures and you feel like you, instead of thinking this is a commandment I must obey, you think of it as something to guide your life. Because
we've made living the Christian life dependent upon keeping all of these rules and things, haven't we?
Right, we have. You have to pray so much. You have to. There are different kinds of rules that people have to show that they're Christian. Instead of just living your life in conformity with the kingdom of God,
Was that a big focus for you and for Jack about kind of the inner relationship rather than the obedience?
Yes, I think so. I mean, when we felt moved to do something, it wasn't a matter we have to do this out of obedience.
Yeah.
You know, it was just something that we felt internally connected, you know.
Yeah.
That God was leading us, and God would take care of us, and
Wow.
it took away a lot of the stress.
Well, and that's a thing, not just in Christian church, but in society. Stress is a massive thing, isn't it, in people's lives, because they have to do things.
Oh, it is.
Have to achieve things.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But to live like that in response to an inner experience.
Right.
Wow.
And another thing that, you know, I think that a lot of ministries and a lot of pastors and evangelists and so on, they think in terms of numbers.
Yes.
You know, as a sign of success, kind
Yes.
of thing. And Jack would say, you know, I can speak to 1,000 people, and maybe 20 will respond.
Yeah.
You know, or maybe more than that. Maybe a lot of people will. But he said, you know, when it comes right down to it, he said, I would rather speak to a small group of people who really absorb this message and know it'll be a lot more effective in the long run.
Yeah, I've gotten to that place now, Dorothy, where I think along the same lines. Because when I was a pastor, the pressure is on you to, you know, increase your congregation numbers, increase your finances, and all of that kind of thing.
Right.
And it's that falls, and that works into that whole obedience thing and stress, where you're trying hard to do what's expected of you, but actually feeling as though you're not succeeding.
Yeah.
Whereas now I'm like, you know, if 6 people turn up and all of them respond in their hearts to what I'm saying, then that's a successful meeting. You know?
That's right. You know, it's like then those 6 people go out and it's exponential.
Exactly. Yes.
And it's in the results. You may not see them right away, but you know, if a family like this, the one that you mentioned, was saved from being, you know, split up and everyone going their own way, that's, you know, just being able to keep them together and to have a sense of family, and it's going to make a difference in the world, you know?
For sure. A lot more than some of our striving and self-efforts.
Right.
I wonder if, without realizing it, all we're doing is just empire building.
Right, yeah. And then you get into that conflict, you know, with somebody's encroaching on your territory.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, or you split hairs over something of doctrine, accepting people for who they are, you know, and ministering to that inner need that they have. If they get really touched in their heart, there's going to be a change, you know.
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest things that's come down to us from you and Jack, is that it's one of the focuses of the ministry now, is like, it's about a person's heart being touched and changed, not their behaviour, not anything else, but their heart. And trust God to do the work in their heart, because we can't.
And leave it up to the Holy Spirit to do the work, you know.
I think that's one of the things that we've inherited from you and Jack, that emphasis, that philosophy. And it's one that I'm grateful for, certainly myself.
definitely, I feel that God has more than taken care of me and provided for me.
Wow.
I'm 86 years old now, and
really, wow.
Even though we were giving and giving and giving and giving,
yeah,
it's like everything is coming back to me. I mean, I don't want for anything.
That's,
I'm
that's wonderful.
I'm doing well. I'm physically, mentally, and economically.
I hope I sound as well as you do at 86.
Yeah.
Just speaking about giving, we've heard the story about the $1 million. What was your perspective on that and giving away $1 million?
There was a couple that we knew. They were friends of ours. Their names were Halverson, and they were the ones that approached us about this property in Minneapolis. It was in Minneapolis and St. Paul. That they had a chance to buy, and it was on the corner of where there was going to be a major intersection on the U.S. Freeway system, roads and so on. And so a corner on one of those intersections was worth a lot of money. And so this happened, I think, when we were still at Bethany, that we were found out about this.
Okay.
So they asked if we would join with them and partner with them to get a hold of this property.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't have any money. I mean, at Bethany, we live by faith, and we really didn't have any money. But so I decided to ask my parents. I mean, they owned a farm in Wisconsin, and they were about to sell to retire, and if they would like to invest.
Right.
So I think they put in like $20,000 or something, and the other couple put in $20,000. And so, I mean, we're talking way back, and this is actually
that's a lot
earlier than Daystar even. And so $40,000, I think, is what it cost. The numbers I just don't remember for sure. That's exactly what that was. So that's where we wanted to hang on to this property because we felt it was going to increase in value.
Yeah.
So then the other couple, they had waited so long, and they were elderly, and they felt they just wanted to be out of it. So we bought them out. I think we paid them. I don't remember what, but whatever the share was, we managed to be able to pay them off. And so that's when we owned the property. My parents did not. They lived there. They actually lived there.
All right.
When they retired, because there was a house on the property and a barn, and it was rural, but I mean it was no longer a working farm.
Yes.
But they did live there for a few years, and we kept it then. And then when Jack heard that YRAM needed money to build the school in Hawaii, he decided that the thing to do would be to deed the property, which at the time he felt was worth $1 million.
Yeah.
That's when he decided we need to deed this over to YWAM, which we did.
Right. Wow.
And that was the end of it as far as our involvement in that property is concerned. But I think YWAM used that as collateral to get some loans for their property in Hawaii.
Right. So yeah, that's different from the version I've heard.
Right. I mean, that's basically what it was.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that must have been a big decision for you to just hand over that property after so long.
Well, yes, except that when we initially bought it, we did not consider it ours.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was always God's.
Wow.
You know what I mean? It always belonged to God. It didn't belong to us. So
Yeah.
it was not hard for me at all.
Wow.
To see that property being used,
Yeah, that's awesome.
The kingdom purposes. I mean, it was just like miraculous to me that we could do that.
Yeah. That's wonderful, Dorothy.
But I never thought of it as something that we ourselves would profit from.
Sure. Wow. So even when you put that money into it, you felt this was something of the Lord.
That's right.
Uh-huh.
And my parents were very gracious, and they felt the same way. It was not like they felt. I mean, of course, they had passed on by the time we let it go. But
wow,
that's
I mean, it's even though it's a different from the story I've heard, it's still an incredible story of faith and faithfulness too.
So it's not like we somehow sacrificed.
Yeah.
I never thought of it as a sacrifice, really. I thought of it as a privilege.
Wow. That is, the humility in that, Dorothy, is incredible. I think there's a lesson there for all of us in holding lightly to things.
I never felt we suffered loss or anything like that, because of it.
So was that a general principle that you had in your life together with Jack, and just holding everything loosely and lightly?
Well, yes. I mean, we hardly ever had anything. So, when people sacrifice to give to us, for properties or whatever, it wasn't ours. It was never ours. Jack's idea was he would give whatever he could, whenever he could. And so that's what he did. Whether, but, I mean, we put three children through college. When we moved to California, we were able to buy a place. And when Jack died, I sold it. And for like 4 times the amount we'd paid for it.
Wow.
That gave me a lot of retirement income. And our kids have prospered. We have all 3 of our children.
That's wonderful.
It's not like they lost out because at all. I mean, they've done extremely well for themselves.
I didn't realize that you'd gone to California. When did that happen, Dorothy?
We moved to California in 1995.
Okay.
We weren't a part of Daystar anymore because Daystar kind of ended. I always felt like Daystar was for a time and a season, but it wasn't meant to continue.
Right, that's interesting.
But and Jack was in ministry at the time. I mean, he went to Korea at least 40 times, and so he traveled all through Asia and South America and even Africa and the Middle East. And he had his own ministry,
How did they get involved with Toronto? How did that come about? How did you guys
get Toronto?
Yeah, how did you guys get involved with John and Carol?
Well, Jack was a speaker at all of the conferences, starting in the 90s. Mike and Jack ministered to John and Carol. I don't remember how that happened or how he met them, but he was at one of their conferences when they were first starting their church in Toronto.
Okay.
And he ministered to them personally.
Yeah.
And they just took up that ministry and went with it. And
I remember hearing James talking about Jack contacting him and saying, "You have to go to Toronto."
Right.
James is kind of like, "Yeah, whatever." But he said Jack was insistent. You need to go to Toronto.
Yeah. And I think James got not inspired, and I think he got launched into ministry himself.
Yeah.
Through that.
It was during the time at Toronto that you and Jack and James and Denise kind of formed Father Heart Ministries.
You know, others who were interested.
Yeah.
When we went to Toronto, we met like Jack Frost. You probably have heard of Jack Frost.
Yeah. I never met Jack, but I've heard of him.
He has passed away too.
Yeah.
And there was a person from Germany and some Norwegians, and there was different ones that wanted to be a part of the ministry, and so it got like Father Heart.
Yeah.
Became a ministry.
Dorothy, it's been absolutely wonderful to chat with you. I've really loved hearing you and hearing your stories. People talk about revival nowadays, and it's this big thing. Do you have any thoughts on that? One of the things we've been talking about is this love that Jack started talking about in the 70s. Is this what the revival is going to look like?
I think that the thing that is going to sustain people, I think there are hard times coming. And I think the thing that's going to sustain people is knowing a relationship, really knowing Father, Father God, and being able to place their trust in God. Because, people can fall away, like it talks about in the scripture.
Yeah.
About those who receive the seed and some, scatter and don't. But it doesn't really, it's not really implanted in their souls.
Yes.
But I think that's when it's going to sustain people in any kind of trial or whatever, and be able, they'll be able to endure and actually thrive. So I don't look for, the kind of revival that we've seen in the past so much. I think it's going to be more quiet and inner type of thing that happens to people.
That's really interesting. Yeah, I like that. Those are good words. I'll take them for myself as well.
Yeah, I think so.
That's that idea of what sustains us, not what excites us. So we can get excited by the big boom things happening, but what's going to sustain us during the quieter or the more difficult times. That's a great ending to our chat. Well, the bit I'm recording anyway.
Okay. All right.
Dorothy, it's been so lovely to speak with you. I've so enjoyed hearing you.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
I just want you to know I'm so grateful for the legacy that you and Jack have handed on to us, that we're able to run with today because of what you pioneered back then, because of what you saw God doing, and the way I'm so grateful and thankful to you for that.
It's all God.
Yeah. But He chooses people to carry it for Him sometimes.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
And I'm so grateful that you and Jack did that and pass it.
Well, thank you for that.
I think that's the thing for me, Dorothy, is the fact that you passed it on through various people that were part of the ministry. I mean, the people I know are James and Denise and obviously Peter and Heather, but there are others that you pass it on through. And not a lot of people do that in ministry, to pass it on and encourage others to stand on their shoulders. That is a wonderful legacy you've given us.
That's good. I'm glad to hear that. So the people I've known in the past, like James and Denise and others, are still dear to me.
Yeah.
Even though I don't have much contact anymore, I treasure those times.
Again, thank you so much, Dorothy.
You're more than welcome.
Thank you for taking the time out of your day to chat with me.
I hope we can meet sometime.
That would be beautiful. That would be lovely. I'd love to spend some time out over a coffee or something with you.
Yeah. My son lives in England.
Oh, right.
In London. And
it's only a couple of hours away.
And he has a family there. his children, his oldest daughter is here in the States now going to college. But
Right.
he has 3 children and a nice wife. So he's very, he's prospered very much. He's a CEO of a major bank.
Wonderful.
And so he's doing very well.
Yeah.
So I go to London. Well, I have been going to London every year.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, because of the pandemic, I'm not scheduled to go.
Oh, that's a shame.
This year, but maybe, God willing, I'll be able to go there again.
Well, if you're there next year, I'll pop down for a coffee.
Okay, do that. Okay.
I'll let you go on with your. It must be close to your lunchtime now.
Yes, but that's fine, no problem. So anyway, well, greet those who have known Jack and wish them all the best.
I will.
All right, thank you.
Bless you, Dorothy. Thank you so much.
Bless you too.